troubles. France has a big contract to sell warships to Russia, and tonight the U.S. is urging France not to sell them to Russia. And the French response? France is absolutely ignoring us. France's president insisting he will go through with the $1.6 billion sale. That is despite U.S. and European efforts to isolate Moscow over the Ukraine crisis. Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North joins us.
First of those Mistral ships, and these are amphibious assault ships.
But they like carry 16 helicopters on them each.
So they're amphibious assault ships. But here's what Putin doesn't know, apparently. Pay attention, Mr. Putin. The French Navy has not won an engagement at sea since 1781, the Battle of Yorktown. Everyone, they've lost them all. Now,
well, that's actually, now I feel better.
No, look at it. French gratitude for American blood shed on France, deliberated twice in the last 20th century, has been scant indeed. 1976, despite objections from the entire world, France helps Baghdad build the Osiris reactor that the Israelis took out in 1981. In the mid-'80s, the French engineers designed all the highways, bridges, air bases, and the revetments. Remember the revetments when we were doing, I'd be over there and walking through? They were supposed to be bomb-proof revetments. The French designed them. One J-dam on each one of them everywhere we went throughout, all over Iraq. Number 3, theoretically, the French, who did help us, by the way, in Lebanon back in the 1980s, but when we went to Mitterrand in 1985 to get permission to overfly France to attack this terrorist sites with Gaddafi, Mitterrand refused it. So we had to fly all the way around from England, Mildenhall, and when they, of course, exhausted, we lost an F-111 and the entire crew, 2 men. Look, what we've learned from all this, Greta, is one, Russia's industrial capacity is on the rocks. This contract was let 2 years ago. The French build a halfway decent ship. But the bottom line is we now know Putin can't build something like this himself. And this is not that sophisticated a ship.
Well, it's 400 Russian sailors will be in France very shortly, in June, which I might add is the 70th anniversary of D-Day. Yep. So the 400 Russians to train to be on these ships.
Yeah. Well, it'll take them 3 or 4 years.
But, I mean, it's not just the... I mean, look, let's face it. We sell weapons to people that, we got a little bad history there.
No.
We've got Germany getting a lot of oil and natural gas from Russia. You've got the Russian money in the banks in London. I mean, everyone's got fingerprints on us.
And sticking the finger in Obama's eye just to show that they can do it. And, of course, that's the kind of record France has. We've learned, one, Putin is leading a hollow country that is losing population every day. Number 2, their industrial capacity is diminishing on a regular basis.
So why help them? So why help them? Why continue?
Because it's France, and we know France is an unreliable ally.
Germany's buying all their oil and giving them money, and London is taking care of all their banking needs.
The Europeans can frack just like we can. If they've got coal under the ground, there is somewhere oil and gas under the ground. If they just frack, they wouldn't have to be obligated to Russia.
But it's interesting how France just doesn't care. I mean that we've asked them not to make delivery on those ships, and they say no. No. Anyway, but they do have great food and wine. They do.
Nelson said that the reason the British Empire grew was his constant quest for good cuisine.
And on that note, Colonel North, thank you, sir.
A little military history.